escape rooms have been gaining popularity, especially for us horror fanatics. This is the story of a visit to a cheap and cliche escape room that became more real than the author anticipated, and she continues to be haunted and hasn't escaped the escape room, at least in her own mind. So stay tuned for this gruesome affair.
Finding yourself in the talons of an owl in the shadows of the forest moonlight. It's a gruesome affair.
Alright, listen. I'm going to start this off by saying that I love horror. Actually, allow me to rephrase. I love good horror. None of those shitty ghost movies where the same thing happens over and over again. You know, ghost knocks over a vase, slams a few doors, drags a few people down the hall, blah blah blah. Paranormal Activity, I'm talking about you. I hate all that basic cliche shit. If I'm going to watch a scary movie, it better be something that is going to stop me from sleeping for at least a few weeks. And if I'm going to pay to go to a haunted house, I better see Satan himself there, ready to drag me into his burning abyss. I guess I'm like an adrenaline junkie, but with horror. A horror junkie, if you will. That's also probably how I ended up in this situation, which reminds me of the whole purpose in my talking about this in the first place. So let me get to that. I moved to Phoenix, Arizona 2 weeks ago. Why is not really important, and neither is from, where, or how I got here. Anyway, I got here just in time to be surrounded by all of the fall and Halloween attractions, which I was pretty excited about. At least I wasn't stuck in some boring town in the middle of cornfields. Right away, I began looking into things that I could do in the spirit of Halloween. Fear Farm was one of the first things that came up on my Google search, and so I decided to check it out. To say it was mediocre would be an understatement. It was subpar at best, and the worst $30 that I ever spent in my life. The second place that I checked out was the 13th floor. I decided to give it a visit a few days after the Fear Farm visit, and so off I went. I did end up having a better appreciation for that one, but it was still not worth the pricey general admissions cost. So I went home disappointed for the second time that week. I'm starting to realize that this sounds like a haunted house theme park review, but bear with me. I promise that it isn't. I decided to check out some escape rooms next. The place that I found was called Demos Honoroi No Escape Room, and it was a pretty far drive, further than all of the other ones, but it had 5 out of 5 stars, so off I went. I got there at about 9:30 p.m. The location itself was not the greatest thing I've ever seen. It was a brick building about half the size of a grocery store. There was a giant motel-like sign in front of the building that spun around slowly. The glowing green letters were the only light sources within a few miles of the place, along with the warm lighting spilling through the glass doors that opened into the lobby. Once inside, I wasn't any more surprised. There was a wooden counter with a computer and a register on it and 3 stacks of papers. Behind the counter sat a teenage girl with a buzz cut and a tattoo over her left eyebrow that spelled something out in what appeared to be Chinese. Welcome to Demos Honoroi No Escape Room. Here's a flyer with some background about this business, and here are the clues that you get for the first escape room, she said in a monotone voice, lazily pointing at each stack of papers. I grabbed one of each, not bothering to read them, and pulled out my wallet. How much? I asked. $3.75, she replied. I was shocked. It was the cheapest thing I had gone to thus far, but I wasn't going to complain about that, so I gave her a $5 bill and waited for her to give me the change. You also have to sign this, saying that you won't sue if you pass out from the fear or something and sue us, she said, sliding a paper towards me. It contained about 2 paragraphs worth of words, but I pretty much got the idea and signed along the dotted line. "All right, Nora, go ahead and step through the blue door to your right. Have fun, and remember, there is no escape." I rolled my eyes at the cheesy line, but walked over and pushed the blue door open anyway. It opened into a room that looked like some kind of operating room, and I immediately felt like this was going to be another stupid, cheesy, not scary challenge. The room's decorations were overboard, splashes of fake blood all over the walls, floors, and ceiling. There were fake bones with what I assume was supposed to be flesh and muscle hanging off in bits, scattered around the floor. A slightly realistic-looking human heart was sitting on the operating table itself in a puddle of fake blood, and there were random surgeon's tools all over the place.
Logan Marlowe didn't read the consent form as well as he should have.
I jumped when the voice boomed around the room. I could tell that it was the same girl who had let me in here.
Unfortunately for him, there were a couple of things in the fine print that he should have paid more attention to. The evil surgeons ended up doing some pretty horrible things to poor Logan, torturing him until he wished he was dead, but he didn't die, yet that is.
I began to look around the room. After all, I was already here and I had already paid the money, so I might as well have tried to escape. Trying to find another door or window or something that I was supposed to open in order to get out while the voice continued.
Instead, Logan became different. They turned him into a monster. Your challenge is to find Logan and kill him before he dies, or else you will face the same fate as he did. You have 30 minutes. Good luck.
There weren't actually many things in the room itself. Only a surgeon's table, 2 of those overhead light things, a few random surgeon's masks, gloves, and robes, and some cabinets that turned out to be locked when I checked. Bingo. I looked under things and behind things, and in all of the corners of the room looking for a key that would open the cabinet. The cabinet began to rattle, and I figured that this Logan person was probably hiding in there. I walked over to the lights and turned them on. I could see that the key was inside one of the lights, so I removed the flimsy cover and grabbed the key. At this point, I was very disappointed. I had been here for only 5 minutes, and I already solved this thing. No wonder they only charged $3. I walked over to the cabinet and opened the door, and a body spilled out. I looked down to see a guy with black curly hair. He groaned and shifted a bit. I rolled my eyes and tapped him in the leg with my shoe. "Hey, I found you. Boom, you're dead," I said. The guy didn't move. "Hey, I found him. I'm done," I called, waiting for the door to open. "Kill him," the girl replied. Okay," I said. I made a gun with my finger. "Boom, dead," I said. "No, kill him," the girl replied. I rolled my eyes. "Come on, Logan, get up. This sucks, and I want to get out of here, so just tell me what I need to do," I said, tapping him with my foot again. Logan groaned again and rolled over. I could see his face now, and I almost threw up. This makeup was incredible. No wonder the decorations in the rest of the room were so shitty. They were spending all of their money on an incredible special effects makeup. Logan was missing his right eye, and instead, his socket held what appeared to be a large eye of a fly. The skin on his nose was cut and peeled up, revealing the bone, and there was blood dripping from his nose to his chin and down his neck. His lips were gone, and he was wearing some sort of razor blade-like teeth. The skin on his face was made up to appear as if it had been melted. It was really good makeup, and I was finally excited. I looked down and saw that he appeared to be missing 2 fingers on his left hand, and his right hand had been done up to look like some sort of claw or something. I also noticed that one of his legs appeared to be missing. These people were dedicated. "Hey man, can you just tell me what I need to do to get out of here?" I asked.
"Kill me,"
he growled. I watched as he shifted and pulled out a knife from his pocket and handed it over to me. "Dude, what the hell?"
"Kill me or they kill you,"
he groaned. "All right, man, I'm not doing this. Look, just let me out," I said, annoyed.
"You can't leave until you kill him,"
the girl's voice said. I turned to see Logan lunging at me with the knife now, so I backed up. "Dude, chill," I shouted. He lunged at me again, and I fell back, hitting my head on a chair that I hadn't seen earlier. I sat up and rubbed my head as I looked around. The door was now open, and Logan was gone. Confused, I got up and walked out looking for anyone else. The girl was still behind the counter. "Congrats on finishing the escape room. Remember, there's no escape. See you soon," she said, this time in an overly cheery voice. "Yeah, all right," I said, walking out. My head was hurting, especially in my left temple, but I walked back to my car and drove back home. Once there, I took some pain medication and went to bed. And that's when everything started. Nightmares. Extremely vivid ones. All about Logan. In each one, I'm in a different location, but they're all the same. Logan is trying to kill me, and I'm running away. In one of the dreams, Logan managed to cut a chunk of my skin on my arm when I fell, and when I woke up, there was a scar in the exact same spot. And it keeps happening. Whatever happens to me in the dreams happens to me in real life. If I fall, I'll wake up with a bruise. If Logan grabs me, the mark will be there in the morning. And he keeps getting closer. It's getting harder and harder to escape him in every dream. I don't know what's going on, but I think it was something to do with the escape room. I haven't slept in the past 36 hours. I'm scared that this time Logan will kill me. And I don't want to die. I don't know what to do. Has anyone else been to this escape room? Have you experienced the same thing? Please help. Please help. Please help. Smoking Owl here. I really enjoy these horrible stories and hope that you do too. If so, please rip at the like button and scratch a comment. And best of all, help me on the path to 100 subscribers by subscribing now. And catch you on another night very soon.